Hey everybody, welcome to our YouTube channel, LM Barrel Racing. I'm Murray McKenzie. For those of you who may not recognize me, you may recognize the name, but you might not recognize the face. Most of the time I'm on the other side of the camera, and so I'm kind of the behind the scenes guy when we're doing our clinics and things, and so Lynn is usually the person out in the front. But we have lots and lots of information that we're trying to bring you and share with you in our YouTube channel. And so in talking about some of the things that we felt like would be really good to share with you, we decided, well, maybe we needed to talk about the science of barrel racing. And so we're starting this series now on the science of barrel racing. This first session is just going to be kind of a little introduction to it, to kind of tell you what we're going to be doing. And then there'll be a lot more information to come. It's going to take us quite a few sessions probably to get all the information out, because we're going to get very detailed about some things, and we're going to be very, very broad about some other things. I know we have barrel racers who are just starting barrel racing, who are beginning barrel racers, and you may not really know enough to get into the great details about it. But then we have girls who've been barrel racing for a long time, and I'm sure that some of these things that we'll be talking about will be things that you're going to go, oh wow, man, I never thought about that. Oh, that's good. I need to write that down, or I need to remember that. And so we're going to be using, Lynn will be joining me with a lot of these sessions, and possibly be bringing Jennifer in. I don't know. I know Jennifer's going to be involved in doing some of the stuff that we're doing in the arena. But anyhow, it's going to be good. You know, barrel racing's been around for a long time. Started back in the 40s, and we kind of got into it in the 70s. In 1977, a lady called Lynn and said she had a horse for Lynn that she wanted her to train. And so she went and picked her up. That horse ended up being Magnolia Missile. Went to the TBRA fraternity, which that was back when fraternities first got started, and the TBRA was the biggie in those days. And so Lynn and Missile went, and they were the only horse in history ever to place in all three go-rounds and won the TBRA fraternity. In fact, she won, not only placed in all three go-rounds, but she won all three go-rounds. So then 78 came along, and it's like, okay, well, we got this really good horse. What should we do with him? And so Lynn wasn't sure about going the pro rodeo route, but I told her, I said, no, Lynn, if we're going to go, you're going to have to go for the big time. So that's what we did. We cracked out back in those days. It was still the GRA and the rodeo. Back in those days, the big deal was got to win enough money to qualify for the National Finals Rodeo, or the NFR. And our first response when they started talking about that was, well, hey, what is the National Finals Rodeo? You see, back in those days, they didn't even have rodeo on TV. They didn't televise the National Finals Rodeo like they do now. And so we didn't really even know very much about it. But because that was the thing that everybody said we needed to do, well, hey, that's what we shot after. Now, back in 1977 and 1978, they decided they were going to determine the world champion not by the amount of money won throughout the season, but it was based on who won that National Finals Rodeo. Well, Lynn happened to win enough money to squeak into the finals in 15th place. And at the end of the 11 go-rounds, which they had 11 in that year, she had won or placed in 9 of the 11 go-rounds, and ended up winning enough to be the world champion in 1978. So then in 1979, we cracked out that year, and now they changed the national finals and the world championship in 1979, and so it was more who won the most money for the year. However, they were still having the National Finals Rodeo based on points, and Lynn went to the National Finals Rodeo that year. She ended up winning 6 out of 10 go-rounds and placed in the other 4. At that time, she was the first person that we know of that actually placed in all 10 go-rounds and winning 6 of the go-rounds. If you've ever been to the NFR or know much about the NFR, winning 6 go-rounds is a big deal. And so we were really excited about that. But also in 1979, we decided, after having helped Martha and R.E. Joseph for about 5 years, after I got out of the Navy, do some of their clinics, we decided to do our own clinics. And so that's where we got our start, 1979. And so for the last 40-something years, we've been doing clinics. It's been quite a ride, quite a journey. We got hooked up with Shane and Lynette Pritchard back around 1999 or so. They have a timing system that they called Tanner timing system, but it was a real computerized timing system using lasers and computers and everything. And it allowed us to be able to analyze what was happening in the barrel racing run in a whole different way, and it allowed us to see a really unique way of determining what was going on and how we could apply some of this, quote, science to our barrel racing. So we're going to be bringing some of that stuff to you. We're going to be talking about equipment. We're going to be talking about saddles. We're going to be talking about conformation. We're going to be talking about a whole lot of things involved in, quote, the science of barrel racing. So I hope you enjoyed this little introductory session. Give us a like if you enjoyed this part, but be sure and click that subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber to our LM Barrel Racing YouTube channel, so that as we do come out with new sessions in the science of barrel racing, that you'll be notified of the sessions coming up or the things coming up. So, because I know you're not going to want to miss any of them. So have a great day. This has been a kind of a quiet weekend here in Lindale, Texas. I know that this coronavirus has kept us all kind of shut up and shut down for a while, but we're really kind of getting back into getting out and getting things going, so we're excited about that. But we really think that rather than going and traveling and doing barrel racing clinics as much as we used to traveling around the country, the new thing is going to be for us to be able to take all these ideas and techniques and things and be able to bring them to you on a video basis through using our YouTube channel. So, hey, make sure you're subscribed. You don't want to miss any of it, and we hope you have a great week this week. See you next time.